Hey there, Internet friends. This is Danielle Pierce, creator of Real Estate Profit Lab and founder of Property Preservation Mastery. As always, come into the room, say hey, let me know where you're watching from. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Again, I'm Danielle Pierce, 14-year full-time real estate entrepreneur, property preservation expert. I've helped hundreds of people around the country to launch and scale their property preservation companies. With that being stated, we are doing a campaign. Over the last, 7, 9 days or so, we featured students who have gone through our flagship program, Property Preservation Mastery, and they have either launched their businesses during the pandemic or they've managed to continue to bring in revenue, and even in some cases the highest revenue months during the pandemic. So in the last video we featured Tiana Newton. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Nope, is it right? Tiara. Sorry about that. I was thinking about Tiana Taylor, the singer. Tierra Newton. She's working out of the Atlanta, Georgia market, and her company actually grossed over $11,000 in January during the height of the pandemic. So if you have not watched that video, encourage you to go back and check it out. It's pretty dope. And Tierra is currently, she's a wife. She's a mom to a 2-year-old. Currently expecting another baby. I think later towards the end of summer. And she's also a full-time licensed real estate agent. So again, go watch that video if you have not taken care of it already. All right. So what was I saying? Back to preservation during the pandemic. So we're featuring these students, just to kind of give everybody inspiration and guidance and hope, and just kind of show our process and show, what's possible for people who are diligent, follow the program, and get shit done, for lack of a better phrase. The first thing popped into my head. So that's what we're doing. So today I'm going to be talking about a student. Her name is Gloria. She's not able to join me on the video because she is, in her words, out of the country for a few weeks. Must be very nice, right? I wish I was going out of the country for a few weeks, but I'll be talking about her story because it is also very inspiring and inspirational as well. With that being stated, before I launch into telling you about all about Miss Gloria, many of you have been asking for discount codes, and we typically don't offer them on an ongoing basis. But for this particular campaign, we are doing 6 discount codes. So the discount codes are available to our email list only. If you're not on our email list, you should be there. The codes are worth between $200 to $500 off of the regular normal price of the program. And again, you have to be on the email list to get it. If you're not on the list, head to propertypreservationmastery.com. I am going to be doing a live Q&A session, I should say, Wednesday, June 16th, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So drop your last minute questions below. I think it'd be really helpful to, kind of watch some of the playlists on YouTube, check out the industry overviews, check out, any of the written articles on LinkedIn, check out the podcast, get your questions together and drop them in the comments so I can address them during the live Q&A session. That's when I'm going to announce the value of each discount code, again, between $200 to $500 off of the full program. And those codes all expire at midnight Central Standard Time on Wednesday, June 16th. So if you're late to this party, if you're watching this video after June 16th, we might have put something together for those of you who are, who see the video several months or several weeks after the fact, but we will announce that, probably a little bit after the 16th. So stay tuned for that. For everyone else, get ready to hear from or hear about Ms. Gloria's story. I think it's actually pretty inspiring. I'm looking at some of her screenshots and just her story. So I want to start sharing it with you. So Gloria is someone who was initially and still is very excited about starting the program. She was so much so to the extent that she kind of she would jump the gun on certain things every now and again, like the business startup piece. So in the course, there's a very clear process on what to do to set up your business. It's like figure out the name, check the Secretary of State's website. Get the address, get the phone number, get the website created. There's links to a designer in Fiverr that we recommend. And he actually got flooded with work. So I don't even know if we might have to start recommending another one because his fee was only, I think it was $150 or $200, something like that. But all of our referrals for the website, basic one-page WordPress website, we sent to this guy. So we outlined all those steps in the course, and I'm not quite sure what happened, but I think she either filed for the LLC without having the address, or the name was there. She didn't secure the name that she wanted. So she filed under one name and then she wasn't able to get it. Something happened like that. So those things happen typically when people are just, super excited and kind of don't follow the steps as they're supposed to, but not really the end of the world, just costs a little bit more time and a little bit more money to correct those errors. So she's someone who started out like that. So very excited. And then she ran into, hiccup after hiccup. A lot of people struggle sometimes with getting the required insurance. So insurances that are you need: general liability, professional liability, and also you might need workman's comp, depending upon the state in which you live in and the company that you partner with to do property preservation work. So she had some issues with that. And she was also a member of our private paid membership community, Property Preservation Insider. So she had lots of questions there. And she's just someone who, kind of, I think I get a lot of type A people who are used to getting things immediately, like just getting acing the test without studying, or just always getting really high scores without having to do a whole bunch of work. And so sometimes when I get those types into the program, they struggle a little bit because it's new lingo, it's new industry, it's new rules, and if for some people, if they've never had a business, that's also a transitional process as well. Because when you're used to working for someone and having a clear outline of what to do, what not to do, clear consequences if you, for example, do a no call, no show at work. Then it kind of keeps people in line and helps them feel very confident in what their role is. Well, when you start a property preservation company, those lines are not quite as rigid, and for some people, that lack of rigidity is concerning, and so sometimes they freak out. So I don't know if that was the case particularly with Gloria, but I suspect that it may be. But I have seen it happen before. People just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. There's so many things. Where do I start? Please help me. And Gloria actually sent a message to our company inbox, and she said that she was basically at the end of her rope. So that message was dated February the 26th. I'm looking at it now. I might do a screen share in a second. February the 26th, she sent this message and says, hey, can you please help? I'm at the end of my rope of sanity. I've watched everything. I've listened to everything. I've read everything. I have the work, but nobody to do it. I really need help. So basically, her issue was contractors, which is the issue for many people. Contractors is Finding contractors is challenging. The industry as a whole has not the best reputation, similar to used car salesmen. Um, they can be a little bit flaky. A lot of them will promise you that they can do, everything under the sun. Oh, I can build houses from the ground up. Oh, my granddaddy was a contractor. Our whole family, well, this is what we do. This is what we do. And you ask them to go do winterization and they don't go do it, or they don't know what to do. So that happens all the time. And some people are really stressed out when it does, even though, the expectation should be that you're going to run into these issues because everyone does. So she had lots of issues with that. And then the other thing you have to think about too with contractors is this: if you're brand new to the industry and you sound a little bit naive and unsure, however you feel internally is what you convey to the contractor. So if you convey yourself as someone who is, a rookie, green, brand new, don't know what they're doing, just kind of figuring it out, they pick up on that shit and they don't want to be bothered, right? And rightfully so. I mean, I wouldn't go, hang my hat with somebody or partner with them and they start telling me things like, oh well, I might be getting these contracts, but I don't really know what they pay, but we're gonna figure it out. Like that's not the move. That's not what you want to tell them. So you want to be careful about that as well. And again, nobody has to come work for you. Like you just have to find people that want to come work with your company. And a lot of us, and not just preservation, but in general, whenever we hear the word no, it's like we personally feel inferior and deflated inside. Like, oh my gosh, they told me no. There must be something wrong with me, my company, my pricing. No one's ever going to come work for me. They keep telling me no, no, no. Like they can tell you no all they want to. It is their right to do so, and it is your right to move on. Now, if you stop and internalize it and freak out about it over and over, then of course you can't move on. And then you never get through, the other side of the process. But Gloria is actually someone who did continue to move on. She kept things going, even though she said it was it was a disaster. She's at the end of her rope. She's listened to everything. She's done everything. She's sent all these emails. And what I like to point out is, I am going to do a screen share now. I want to point out what happens when you don't give up on yourself and you don't give up on your business. So let me see if my screen share will work correctly. And there it is. So here's a post that she made in our alumni group. This is a free community for those students who've registered for the course and that are actually, still either launching their business or in the process of doing so. And she said, I finally got my first payout over 3 grand. Again, this was May 5th. She said it took them about a month. That can be normal. And I kept thinking, what if they don't pay me? But they came through. I'm happy I was finally able to pay my team and everything else that had been piling up. So that's probably the insurance. And then she said she also got another payment from another company, but it was smaller. And this company is a lot more nitpicky. All of that is true. So what I told her is that, I love the fact that even though you have so many doubts and create constant what if scenarios, and some people do, that's their, one of my best friends who shall remain nameless. She sent me an article about the COVID vaccine. And in the article, it said, so the headline was, possible heart condition linked to the second shot of the vaccination. So I'm like, okay, that's a interesting headline. So I read the article, and inside the article, it basically talks about how in 16 people out of 1 million, they found a potential, heart issue that may have been linked to getting the second shot. It was primarily affecting, I think, people under 30 and teenagers, and I think women more so than men. And so 16 out of 1 million, y'all, right? These are the numbers. And then out of those 16 people, 14 people, the issue corrected all on its own, and the remaining 2 people had pre-existing conditions. So she sent me that, and I was just like, now not to go all the way left, but I'm definitely probably more so on the skeptical side of everything, right? That's just my nature, and just my that's been my story throughout life. So she said, but I was like, sis, don't send me no more stuff like this. Like, I can't live like this. Like, I got better odds of going outside being hit by a car. Like, I grew up in Beacon Hill. I lived on the south side of Chicago. I am a product of a single parent household. Like, I'm one of, like, come on, like, I have so many other things where I've had much higher odds of something happening to me. Like, I can't be freaking out about 16 out of 1 million for something that basically has corrected itself for 14 out of the 16 people. So I just thought that was a good analogy, because the what if scenarios thing, it seems to be a common, I shouldn't say common, but I've seen people with that thing that they do in their head where they're like, well, what if they don't pay me? What if I can't find people to do the work? What if the dollar collapses? What if I lose my contract? What if I get a work order, I don't have anybody to do it? And on and on and on. And you could do those things. I don't necessarily see the value in it. That's just me, but I'm always careful, as my partner always tells me. It's like, well, you can't, assume that people are going to approach life the same way you do and through the lens that you view it through. And I was just like, okay, cool. So yeah, so even though Gloria did have the what if scenario thing going on, she was able to still push through that in spite of it. And my friends, is the power of belief. If you have that trait and that ability to have all these doubts, have all these fears, have all these uncertainties, and you still keep going and you get to the other side and you're able to do that, like, that feeling right there is like one of the best feelings you'll ever experience in life. Just my 2 cents anyway, right? That's what I think. I think that most people will probably never know the feeling of exhilaration that comes from dealing with something that's really, really hard, staying with the goal that you set and overcoming that, whatever that issue is, and getting to the other side. And most of us will never know that feeling because we almost always give up, right? It might be weight loss. That's kind of been my struggle for, the past few years or so. It's just, it gets hard and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it. Let me go. Let me go drink margaritas. Let me go to Papa Dough. Let me go get, the best desserts I can find, because desserts are kind of my thing, right? So it's like the minute it gets hard, you know, people give up. And the thing you want to understand about it, is that it is supposed to be hard, and you have to be okay with shit being hard from time to time, because that is the reality of it. Everything is not supposed to feel good. Everything is not supposed to make you feel warm and fuzzy and comfortable and excited and elate. Like, that's not reality. And I'm not, again, I'm not just talking about property preservation at this point. This actually applies to everything else. Like, we have this misconception that things are supposed to be easy. We're supposed to be happy, but says who? So once you realize that, that's not anything that you're owed or entitled to, you have to actually go out and get it, then, there's a mindset shift that happens. So again, I just want to say that the power that you'll obtain from overcoming doubts and achieving the goal you set for yourself is just unparalleled. I hope that everyone who's watching this gets to experience that, multiple times throughout the course of their lives, because it is amazing. And I put in an email that we're going to be sending out. It's like, I've never smoked crack or any of the current popular drugs these rappers be talking about, but I'm still convinced that there isn't a greater high than what I just described a few moments ago. All right. Once you step out of those doubts and fears, it's like stepping out of an old skin and into a new one, and basically another version of yourself. Like, it's that deep and that powerful. And you can just take that and carry that to any other industry or any other thing that you want to do. Um, that's where the magic happens. All right. So again, during this campaign, we have released 5 discount codes so far. We have one more to go. Those discount codes are primarily only released to our email list. So if you're not there, go to propertypreservationmastery.com and check it out. Aside from that, I hopefully you guys have been enjoying these stories and seeing little bits and pieces of yourselves inside of each of these people. I know I do. I tend to attract lots of type A's, like I said before, lots of high performers, lots of um, folks who are the glue holding their families together or trying to be. Tend to attract lots of people who are in corporate and want to transition out, lots of folks who are already in real estate in some capacity. I got many people who also have a very similar background to me, in that they have an accounting degree and they didn't like it and they wanted to do something different. I don't think anyone left accounting as early as I did. I left after 5 years, but lots of folks who have that story. And so I just think that there's incredible power in being able to see other folks walk the same path that you should be walking or thinking about walking, and seeing them be successful. So that's why we're going to leave these videos up. So make sure you go back and check out Tierra's video. uh, Gloria, I'm going to have her on when she comes back from out of the country, wherever she may be in the world. Hopefully, she makes it back safely. Gloria, safe travels to you if and whenever you watch this video. But make sure you watch Tiara's story. Make sure you listen to all the other folks that we featured, because they are like freaking amazing, right? They're amazing. And I don't take credit for most of it. I only take credit for being the spark and the catalyst, right? That's it. Unrelated, but quick sidebar. Wait, I've kept seeing these posts on Facebook from women like, why do men do XYZ? Why do they only text? Why do they put forth the bare minimum effort? Why do they blah 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 blah? And I was just like, we spend a lot of time, women in general, like generally speaking, spend a lot of time thinking about why men or certain men do the things that they do or they don't do. And I just feel like that's a waste of good energy and brain space and brain power and oxygen, right? I feel like you should focus on the things that you actually do want, and you'll attract more of that. And just let people who are not, I call them the non-contenders, let them fall by the wayside, right? You don't have to spend your time worrying about what people do, the things that they do, because we'll never know the answers to that, right? And that's just not just men, but men or women. Like, humans are, interesting and fascinating creatures. So I just thought that was a good sidebar to throw in there. Like, you never know what people do, the things that they do. But if you stay focused on the particular path that you have set for yourself, hopefully that involves launching a property preservation company this year, which it should. You're going to get there. If you never give up, the only option is for you to get there. And that's it. So, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time. As always, sending you love, light, peace, blessings, grace, and clarity. Until next time. Bye bye.